Rolling. All right, what's going on, everyone? Jared Couture here from Kung Fu Music Lessons, Two Cities, One World, and I'm here with the great master, Mr. Roy, Futureman Wooten.
Right.
Thanks so much for joining in and having a little conversation with me. So I'm going to be asking Roy some cool things about mastery, because Roy has definitely reached some insane levels. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say. But if you mind just going ahead and giving a little background of your kind of musical history,
Well, wow, I'm part of a musical family. Me and my brothers. My oldest brother Reggie plays the guitar, and then I come next playing drums. Start off beating on boxes and stuff, and then there's my brother Rudy, who's no longer with us now. He played saxophone. He's a great saxophone player, man. And the jazz club Rudy's here in Nashville is named after him. After he passed away, friends of him started it. Then we got my brother Joseph, who plays the keyboards, who my oldest brother taught him to play. And then my youngest brother, Victor Wooten, who a lot of people that play bass know who Victor is, musicians. And Reg taught him to play. Started teaching him when he was 2 years old. Just from a very young age, man, when Vic came, all we needed was a bass player. So we sort of just kind of gave him the bass and hoped that it was going to be a good fit. And so many years later, it seems like it was a very good fit, but when Vic got here, we had a band. And when he was 2 years old, we were playing, little gigs in our yard and stuff. Vic was playing Mickey Mouse guitar. And then by the time, he was playing his Mickey Mouse guitar when he first jamming with us, just strumming. Then when he was 3, Reg actually started showing him where the notes were and how to hit the right notes and stuff. And from there, by the time we're 5 years old, Vic's 5 years old, we're 5 or 6.
How old were you at that time?
I'm about 7 years older than Vic. So,
okay.
It's just that span, But we were just kids, but we were opening for Curtis Mayfield on Superfly tour, national tour. Like we had advanced to that level where, and it's almost like we were just this musical family. And we were like always this other family, because there was us, and then there was this other group that was the Jackson 5. And we were the musical family. And so you just have a history of music and just going and, as we grow up and stuff, our garage became the come-to place for all of these musicians. So there's just so many musicians that we know that are our friends that are out there doing it. They came through the garage, hung out, Carter Beauford, playing with the Dave Matthews Band, Sydney Blackman, who's married to Carlos Santana now. She didn't come to the garage, but she came over to me and Billy Drummond's house when we were woodshed, visiting her parents. And then she wanted to play drums, and people were telling her she needed to play flute because she's a girl. It's a girl's instrument. She said she wanted to play drums. And she came over, man. We were listening to Tony Williams. And if you know anything about Cindy Blackman, man, she plays like Tony Williams now, So it's cool just to see your friends stick with it, My brother Rudy, who was a great saxophone player. It's so funny, because with me and my brothers, we've just lived a musical life. And someone recently just contacted Victor, who was from this show back in the day called Don Kirshner's Rock Concert. He had a show. It was like a Dick Clark type of night show, but they would have all kinds of music. And he contacted Victor because he had this cassette tape that we made in the studio way back when we were kids. And he said it's a cassette tape that my mom gave to him. And he was sent to our garage by Don Kirshner because they heard about this other group who was better than the Jackson 5. They were musicians that played their own stuff. And he came down with another agent. And basically he was selling the tape because he had to raise money. His wife was sick with cancer, something like that. But we got the tape, man. We listened to it. And it's good. It's like, whoa. So you're probably gonna be hearing that in the near future.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you hear my brother Rudy play 2 saxophones like Rashawn Roll and Kirk. We were just a family that was really into music, and our parents got behind us and allowed us to develop and allowed us to keep getting better, and then allowed us to play clubs when we were way too young. I mean, Vic's 5, 6, 7, 8, that's way too young to be in a club, but because our parents supported, we could do it. And I just, That we've had a life of music, man, and I'm still going. You know, still going.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So we're spreading it out. It's kind of like paying it forward too. You know, it's funny. Like my brother Red is back there now, man. He was playing this super 12-string bass that he had made.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, man. And I said, man, let me film some of that. I'm gonna put it on. I have a Facebook group now called Rhythm Hackers. You know, we're like hacking, like, you know, like hacking the rhythm. Like, just today I was researching the rhythm of Chopin and how they putting all of these polyrhythms, 4/3, and all these crazy rhythms. And the big one that I'm hacking now is the Black Page, Frank Zappa. You know, all the rhythms in there. There's a way of seeing it, and I think I see it a little slightly different than anybody else is seeing it. And so I was just making notes on the Black Page today, how I want to continue to take some people and scale that mountain. You know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Talk about mastery.
Yes, sir.
Talk about mastery. Now, there's going to be some rhythmic mastery there, you know? And,
yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be a challenge. I'll probably, just because everybody has so much time off right now, I'm probably going to launch something pretty soon where it's just probably going to be a free 21-day something. Just a free 21-day deep dive, just because you got time to dive right now.
That's awesome.
And we're going to, I'm going to tackle that Black Page. Even the first line of it, there's some things to look at to really get that thing to swing, but the whole thing's got to swing. I don't think anybody's ever said that. Like, most people can get through it, but we want to make that thing really swing. And all odd numbers are trying to swing if we want to talk about mastery. Every odd number is related to the triplet, which is the first odd number with more than one number. The next odd number is 3. And 3 presents that first shuffle. You know what I mean? It presents that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. It's the first triplet. But if you take the middle out of the triplet, you get that shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and it hops along. It skips along. See what I'm saying? Right? And all the odd numbers are related to that triplet. You call them tuplets because they're not triplets, but they're tuplets, you know, and they float and fold like that triplet. And most of the time we want to think of them as odd. So in this mastery, you know, talking about mastery is to see those tuplets in a natural way, just like skipping to the store. It's the difference between skipping and walking. That's the metaphor I always give. If you skip to the store, you imagine yourself skipping. You know what I mean? It has a lift to it. It's totally different than marching. Totally different than walking. A skip has a different lilt. All odd numbers are skipping to the beat. So
that's a good analogy. That's a good way to feel it.
Cool. We talking Yoda stuff now. You know, we're off to see the wizard. Da, da, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. You know, there's a swing to it. Yeah. all numbers are swinging like that.
That's cool, man.
But anyway, musical family, man. Musical family, and everybody's still doing it. Everybody's sticking to it. Like my brother Joseph, keyboard player. He's playing with Steve Miller Band. Everybody's home now, you know, but, you know, everyone's still sticking with it. And that's what's so nice to see about all of those musicians that came to our garage. Everybody was like pushing, man, like going for something, you know, and it's like the people that are out there, you know them, man. It's like my brother Rudy, in high school, he won the best jazz soloist award, where they have the competitions among the whole state. And Rudy won the whole thing twice. He couldn't win it anymore. And then after he won it, Steve Wilson won it. And Steve Wilson is the jazz saxophone guy. A lot of people know him. He played with the not Dave Matthews Band, Secrets, which was the band from Richmond that Dave Matthews got most of his band members from. And so it's just cool, you know, because Steve Wilson is still doing it, man. It's like, it's really cool. Like you play bass, right?
I play guitar mainly, but guitar and bass and many things, but yeah, mainly guitar. And I do take lessons with Reggie still, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, Reggie's back there. Okay, I just left Reggie.
He's the man. And I was just thinking, man, because I talked to Bill, because Bill's a very good friend of mine, you know. We're very close.
What's Bill? Dickens?
No, Ferry.
Oh, Ferry. Have you seen what he's working on? What we've been working on?
Right, yeah. And he told me about this even over 2 years ago, because because I saw you, I saw you in 2018 at Ground Up, and he told me before that. Now that you've released this Rhythm Hackers thing, it's like, okay, it's coming to the surface and everybody else gets to benefit too. It's really cool.
Yes.
But I was
yes.
just telling Bill, because he showed me this technique he's using to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, man, that's cool. And I'm like, man, you need to ask Reggie, because he knows exactly how to put all, he could take anything and put it together so easily.
Yeah.
But another thing I was thinking for 5, it's easy to tap at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and one finger 2 and 1, 3 twos. Either hand 3, 2, 3, 2.
Yeah. Do it. Let me see. Let me do it.
Well, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And I'm, I put a groove on and just hear the 1. Put the 5 in the 1 to properly feel it, because you can take it different places, but to really feel that 5 thing all the time, that's cool. I like that sprinkler effect your one of your students mentioned, or you guys were talking about.
See, what's cool is like, I'm just basically showing it from drum discipline, because what happens is there's multiple approaches, right? And I'm just trying to show them one of the most powerful approaches, which these jazz drummers use, like Buddy Rich. When they're blazing over the drums, there's a 5-stroke roll pattern. And if you align with that pattern, you're going to get powerful, like a drummer. You're going to start thinking like a drummer. And now I just got Bill to step down to the 4, but in a way that's so stylized, man. That 4 is so slick. You would never arrive at that on your own thought, man. But, he's getting it. And what I'm doing is, because when we get to the black page, we're going to have to go from this sprinkler to that sprinkler. Shift from the 4 to the 5 to the 6, like nothing, right? And I'm not letting them not swing. It's got to swing. We're not just trying to play the page. The whole thing is these numbers are trying to get you to swing. See what I'm saying? And so, it's really neat to see, because they're just principles. You can use them on the drum. You can use them on whatever you can hit. So we're at James Brown place, we're at a James Brown place. So it's like, it's beautiful. Like what you were doing with the 3s and 2, they're all a family,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to impart some of the secrets, like there's a secret mentality. Like, okay, we're in a drum mind. And the only reason why I'm doing that, we're talking about mastery, right?
Yes.
I was hanging around watching my brother Reggie, who's always been so good at theory. You know what I mean? And he's hanging with like the baddest cats, man. Consuelo Moorhead, who was Spike Lee's aunt, Bill Lee's sister, who was a legendary jazz bassist. But Spike Lee, the filmmaker, that's his dad, right? And his sister Consuelo was teaching theory, man, teaching jazz piano. And the way they would just talk about harmony, man, it was just like, man, it's like harmony, death, and taxes was it. That was, it was like, they were just so deep into it, man. It just, you felt it, man. And Red just, we met Chris Anderson, who was like he was like the Yoda for Herbie Hancock. The way, how Herbie Hancock has a certain sound, it comes from this guy, Chris Anderson. And lately you've heard Jacob Collier talking to Herbie Hancock about Chris Anderson. You know what I mean? We're starting to talk about it, right? But, Red's learned from him directly, man. It's like, wow. But the way jazz musicians would get into the mastery of chords and theory, I said, man, if I approach rhythm, that's my world. If I approach rhythm like that, I felt like I was going to discover secrets. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Beethoven said, don't just learn your art, but let the art whisper to you its secrets. And it's like, that's how we're looking at rhythm. So now when I'm looking at rhythm, man, we're just on an epic journey. First of all, it's got the word myth hidden in the spelling of the word. You know what I mean? You spell rhythm, come back the other way, you start to see the word myth spelling itself out, right? And rhythm is like that. It's mythological. In the beginning was some kind of movement, that rippled on the face of the waters of the deep, right? And it became everything. And so that's why in Rhythm Hacker, I was posting cymatics, because we start to see when stuff starts rippling, sound starts rippling, and it starts making design principles, like serious designs called cymatics. So we've got, wait, hold it. You telling me we got a tone, right? But from that tone, we got an architectural design? What are we dealing with here? This is king to queen's level 3 mastery now. We can study it just from tone and just from sound, but now we can study it from an architectural standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, man, that's a whole nother thing right there. Now, if I take my mind and remember that rhythm, where it's coming from, it's on a mythological level. It's invisible. It's not even here. Where is it? You know what I mean? But rhythm just keeps vibrating, and then you don't even hear it at first. It's just vibrating. Then up, 7 octaves, we get sound for 7 octaves. Then it moves on away from song, dog whistle. We can't hear it no more, right? Then all of a sudden, we can see it as light. It's the same vibration. Same rhythm became something else. See what I'm saying? So if we stay tuned long enough in Rhythm Hackers, man, we're going to show you Stephen J., who's the bass player with Weird Al. Like, you think Weird Al, you think jokes, comedy. Man, this dude studied out Mali, man, with these Dogon-type priests that were teaching him all this stuff, right? So Stephen J. has been to the Spirit of Music Camp, which is my brother Victor's music camps in the summer. In the Spirit of Music Camp, we go down the rabbit hole. It gets deep. It's like we don't have to hold back. You know, it's like we go, it's Yoda time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? We're dealing with the Force now, right? And Stephen J. and his son and them were showing that when we do rhythms, like polyrhythms, 3 against 2, 4 against 3, when you speed those up, they become intervals. You know what I mean? They become like intervals that we recognize. So that rhythm is a direct cousin or the direct root of the tone and the music that we're building off of. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, man, it seems like it's a magical, slide journey of phenomenon. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. It reminds me, I think of it like, it's like the Matrix, because
yes,
it's infinite, because it's infinite amount of numbers. So there's infinite amount of rhythms. You only got the 12 notes. Really, they're all there too, just as it's open, just the same, but we're limiting ourselves to 12. But in the rhythm, there's no limits, and it's pretty insane.
But from a mastery standpoint, here's the mastery standpoint. Even though we got a limited amount of numbers, right? The numbers, we can go to infinity and trillionity or whatever, Google, right? But there's only 9 numbers in the alphabet.
That's true.
That is key right there. There's only 9 numbers in the alphabet, right? And those 9 numbers don't really do 9 things. They only do 4.5 things. There's 4.5 principles. Now, this is a mastery thing, right? This comes from Walter Russell's book called The Universal One. And he talks about nature does everything. 9 is the symbol of completion, right? But everything is done in 4.5 steps. So if you have 4.5 plus 4.5, you get 9. Just like you got 4 fingers and a thumb where it pivots. That's the halfway point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got 4.5. 4.5. That's it's like, right. It's really, we got 10 fingers, but it's really 4.5, that same principle. And when we get in that, man, we'll see it in numbers, and I'll be showing it in rhythm, right? Once we kind of go down Fibonacci, 1 and 1 equals 2, 2 and 1 equals 3. Right there, we got the doorway to all of it, right? You can put 2s and 3s together and get all the other numbers without counting really high. So this is the mastery thing now. So what happens is, like with the numbers in the black page, like somebody who was I was just watching, or I was watching a guy on YouTube demonstrate the black page. He's doing a great job too. And so he just said he was talking about tuplets, and so he just went 19, and then he came off, right? And so when we say 19, that just sounds like, whoa, what are we dealing with, right? But watch how I'm going to break this down, right? Any odd number, this is a mastery lesson right here, okay? So any odd number, right, sits right next to an even number. So if I say 7, right, 7 sits right next to 8. And then I ask you, what is half of 8? Half of 8 is?
4.
4. So if you do a lopsided 4, it'll give you the 7, okay? So I'm going to go lopsided. I'm going to go down and up. So if I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and That gives me the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? It's kind of a big, it's a big whole 4. But now I'm gonna do the lopsided 4. Well, I don't get that up on the end of the 4. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, 3, boom, back, 2, 3, 5, 5. Right? So any odd number, this is a formula, right? Any odd number, we can use this formula. So if I say I want 9, right? 9 sits right next to 10. What's half of 10?
5.
5. So a whole 5 will give you 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Lopsided 5 will give you the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Now, this is a thing where we should spend more time before I say this, right? But even here, when I get to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and 2, and 3, 1, and 2, and 3, 1, and 2, and 3, 1, right? I just did a king to queens level shortcut. It takes a while to get that natural, but that's what's going to happen after a while. The larger numbers are like higher octaves of lower stuff, right? And every time we do that, man, we're going to see these 4.5 principles, man. We're going to keep going back down to 4.5 things.
That's amazing, man. That is so cool. That is such a good way to break it. Yeah, you're actually the first person I've seen talk about this, or I've just geeking out on videos and listening about, like, you basically play like you're in 4 to any odd meter, but you do that thing where you cut it. But now I hear you even more depth of it. But it's really cool because most people don't play like that, and it adds the groove in the odd meter. It's amazing.
It's funny, I just did a lesson with Vic. We're gonna post. We're gonna do some kind of class because see, we're getting ready for a rhythm class that might not happen because everybody's in the home, can't go nowhere. So, but I did a lesson, and one of my whole thesis themes is making odd times groove.
Yeah,
making odd times groove. See, it's kind of like I've heard a lot of people play the black page, and you get through it, but I still don't hear it swinging like Elvin, man. You know what I mean? I don't feel that thing swinging the way I think that it can swing. And what I mean by that is because of my own theory, right? Like when I'm telling you what I'm explaining to you is the difference between whole numbers and lopsided numbers, or even numbers and odd numbers. And the odd numbers are the ones that skip. And so the first skip is when we get to the number 3, because you hit 1, well, cool, right? 1 repeats itself. 1, 2, 1, 2, cool. That's even, right? The even numbers step to the beat. 1, 2, boom, boom. But when I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, triplet, triplet. This is a mastery lesson. All the odd numbers, to see what they are, we take the middle out. Just like if I go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and get all the notes of the chord, but then I take out every other note and I get the triad of the chord. Now we're starting to get this kind of framework. Same thing with rhythm, right? If we take out the middles of the rhythm, right? So I say 3 is the first one. Triplet, take out the middle, you get triplet, and it has a whole different feel. It's got that hop along Cassidy. Da 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 boom 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 boom. And there's the shuffle. Now the shuffle is swinging, right? Well, all of its tuplet brother and sister is supposed to swing like that too.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Right? So what's after 3? The next step is 5. Right? But most people are going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and count it linearly, right, when it should be skip the middle. 1, skip 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and you can see that lopsided 3. Da, da, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel that lopsided 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, cut, cut. When I speed that up, boom, ta, da, 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 right? You hear the signature for jazz. The ding, ding, the ding of jazz bursts out of 5. You can do it with the 6 too, but it shows up in the 5 first. Whoa. Now, you know, ding, ding, the ding is supposed to be swinging. So what I'm saying, every time you see 5, it's trying to go there, whether you know it or not. See what I'm saying? And I hear people playing 5 and they don't realize the identity of 5 is swing. Whether I do it at 16 notes over the beat, like if you're going boom, ka, boom, ka, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Most people are counting like that, right? But we should be counting like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, right? Your tongue gets tied up. But you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, and you can hold that. See what I'm saying? You can hold that against going over the bar line. See what I mean? And it's supposed to be swinging like that too. You hear it in Latin music all the time. Ding, 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 boom, 5, wherever it is, all these tuplets, man, are in the swing family. All of them, right? So what I'm saying is this is a mastery lesson, right? When we get to 3, right, there's an identity of the shuffle. 3's identity is related to the shuffle. There's a whole music that you understand. Well, the next shuffle is ding, ding, da, ding. 5 is ding, ding, da, ding. See what I'm saying? 5 is ding, 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 ding. You speed it up and it becomes the same ding, ding, ding that all these jazz drummers are using. And nobody can tell you why does a whole music play ding, ding, da, ding all day long. Why do we play that? Why is ding, ding, da, ding the DNA of that music? There's nobody that can tell you that, right? But if there's a principle in music, there will be a music that embraces that principle. And jazz embraces that principle of ding, ding, da, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Right? And jazz is showing you, it's orienting that 5 as a tuplet over the beat. Ta 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 ta. It's real. Jazz is trying to show something about that 5.
Man, that's awesome. I never thought that. That's amazing.
Right. So this is what we're getting into. So on the first line of the black page, there's something at the end of the first line that everybody plays that 5, but it's not playing the 5 with its dual nature. There's a dual nature. Because right now when we go down, down, da, down, 5 wants to go down, 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 up, 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 boom. And that's really the whole thing. Right now, we're still playing it like a closed shuffle. To close, to close, to up, down, to up, come on. It really breathes. There's a polarity to it. So anyway, we're talking about mastery. So I just want to throw a little mastery out there.
That's awesome. No, anything you want to talk about is amazing. You know, it's, you know, you're already the master. So whatever you say it's mastery coming right up. Man, and, you know, I have some different questions for you that's different than normal people because you have some amazing ideas. One thing I'd like to get your thoughts on is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, which is, it seems to me that, like, I know you've been playing you play like the Fibonacci sequence, or playing with these ideas, but I noticed as well that I feel like that's another reason why music is the or a prominent universal language, because, and I realize why people understand it, they get it, because like the nature of things, like sacred geometry, people talk about it, but I don't think many people understand why really, but it's these patterns are just the way that everything is constructed. And that's why music is so easy to understand, because it's all just these combinations of patterns. And it seems like every song is actually like a mandala. It is sacred geometry.
Now, mandala, you said a good word right there, right? Because remember, cymatics, you hit these tones and they're actually creating mandalas.
But that's what it is. These rhythmic patterns create shapes. But you have your pattern, the bass has his pattern, the guitar, everybody has different patterns. Simultaneously, there's your mandala, there's your sacred geometry piece in every song.
Yeah, man, did you see this? Like, I just posted something about cymatics recently. Are you in rhythm? You're in Rhythm Hackers.
Yes.
All right, did you see the one I posted where they was showing the water rippling in the speaker cabinet? And then when the bass drum hit his bass drum, there's water running. And when he would hit the bass drum with the water would spiral like DNA. It
Oh,
looked
that's
like
amazing.
something out of Dr. Seuss, man. It's not even right. It's not even right. But yeah, mandala is a good word, what you're saying, because I actually feel like when we're dealing with music, it's like you're dealing with the pen of creation. You know what I mean? It's like you're dealing with first of all, it's the universal language, right? So how is it writing the language? Where there's the mandalas, right? So now I just want to stretch your mind for a second, right? And you know that language consists of symbols, right? So when you hit these tones, you see a series of symbols. And I'm like, what if that's an alphabet? What if those symbols are an alphabet that can be turned into a language? Now, there would be a universal language right there, because you're hitting these tones, music, which is a universal language, and you're getting these symbols. They're not just like kind of crazy designs, they're actually symbols. Every time you do this, you get that. So somebody's making words out of that. Maybe it's on an angel level. I don't know, right? But it's something about symbols. And what I'm saying here is this is something like you could apply your mind to, because there was something called the Rosetta Stone, right? And on the Rosetta Stone, they had all the languages written in all these different languages. All you had to do was translate it. You see the symbols, but just because you see the symbols don't mean you know the language. See what I'm saying? So we're looking at those mandala, but we have no idea. If it was a language, we have no idea. See what I'm saying? So what I mean is this. This is almost like Champollion on a whole nother level, where we got to say, what is the meaning of this universal language producing that language? You know what I mean? First of all,
That's a
just to
good
let
question.
just to let your mind think, is that part of a language that we're looking at? You know, when I hit this note, I see that letter. It's like, whoa, what's that, right? Then we got to realize when we see letters in our language, right? If I'm reading Shakespeare, right, and I see a page full of Shakespeare, right, but I don't see the periods, I don't see the capital letters, and I'm just looking at all of these letters. I recognize the letters. But if I'm looking at it and it's written in English and I'm trying to figure it out in French, I'm just never going to get it because I got the wrong system, right? If I'm German and I'm looking at it, I'm trying to find German words in there, but it was written in English. Okay, if I'm Spanish and I'm trying to see my Spanish words in there, you know, or if I'm a mathematician and I'm trying to see my patterns, they're always looking for patterns, right? But the patterns may be poetry that you don't know what it is. The poetry can be rhyming, but you might not see that rhyme pattern in the letters. You see what I'm saying? So the scientist is trying to count how many times does one show up? Do I see the pattern in the letters? And I think they're looking the wrong way, man. There's some kind of language going on here. I could be wrong, but that's what my intuition is saying. This music is a universal language, man. And in the beginning was some kind of music, rhythm, vibration. And when we see cymatics, we see why. Because to make something come out of nothing, you got to get that frequency going to get these shapes going. You know what I mean? So music, yeah. When you said mandalas, that's a big one right there. That you're hitting tones and they're creating a whole system of mandalas. A whole system. When you have a whole system of something, that's a language right there. You know what I mean? Like you can put a language on that. See what I'm saying? I mean, numbers only have 9. You know what I mean? Think about how far you could go with that. There's only 9 symbols, man, and a 0. So I'm just stirring up a little trouble here, man.
Oh man, dude. One thing that's interesting too in terms of tones and pitch is there's 12 notes, so 6 is the halfway point. And
Yes.
actually, what I noticed is on both sides, the things on here and things on here, they have basically exactly the same function. So actually, it's like there's only 6 notes because, like, you know what I'm saying? If I go from here or I go here, say I go this way, here's a whole step up, here's a whole step down. They have the same tension, but one is like bright and one is dark. It's the opposite, but it's the same tension.
Yes.
But it's the opposite thing.
Yes.
But it's kind of like if I can hear, you know, a 2 on something, I can hear a flat 7 just the same because it's still just a whole step down. It's like really there's only 6 notes. It's breaking it in half, you know.
Right.
It's an easy
Now
way
we're
to
starting to
hear.
get right. Now we're starting to get into that kaleidoscope where we're opening it up. You know, we're starting to really open up the kaleidoscopic thing, you know. And numbers is like that. Once we start doing that, it's almost like we're playing a Rubik's Cube. with the numbers, right? And that's what numbers are doing. Because how can there just be so few in the alphabet and do so many things, right? And so what we start seeing is like, I got to finish this in Rhythm Hackers because I laid Fibonacci out, right? This is a mastery thing, right? I laid Fibonacci out. But then whenever you have two numbers, you add them together to get a single digit. And you'll see the root function of the number, okay? So if I take numbers that double, binary, right? We're just talking cell division, right? But cell division has a finite little pattern that it does. So 1 will double to 2, 2 will double to 4, 4 will double to 8, like an octave, 8 will double to 16, which we can add 6 and 1 and get the 7, which is the fundamental theme. 16 doubles to 32, you add the 3 and the 2 and we get the 5. And that pattern right there just repeats over and over and over and over and again. So it went 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, which is 7. 16 plus 16 is 32, which is 5, right? Now see if you can follow this. So now I'm gonna double 32. 32 plus 32 is 64. You add 6 and 4, you get 10. 1 and 0, 1. You're back to your next 1, right? 64 plus 64 is 128. You just add the numbers together. 8, 9, 10, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. There's your next 2. 128 plus 128 is 256. Just add the numbers however you do. 6 plus 5 is 11, 12, 13. 1 and 3 is 4. There's your next 4. It's just going to go 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. It's just going to keep doing that. See what I'm saying? 256 double is 5, 12, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's your next 8. So it's going 1, 2, 4, 8 on the next octave of the numbers. But it just keeps repeating that little 6-part theme. So you said the number 6 and you broke it open. You know, a lot of times snowflakes are 6. A lot of times 6 is a principle that shows itself. But there now we're looking at the Rubik's Cube nature of the numbers keep getting bigger, but there's a theme running in there. So when we dug into the theme, there are inner themes in that theme. And so this guy, Marco Rodin, sacred geometry dude, a little bit crazy, you know, but this dude's like, psh. And so I'm riding in the car. He's doing multiple things. He just tells me to write the Fibonacci numbers down. So I'm writing them down. He's driving. He says, now you take the numbers. You can start from the numbers and you count 4 from the number. So if I start from 0, I go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then circle the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, circle the next one, right? And you can do that 3 times. There's I think 4 different combinations. And those combinations are inner themes inside of Fibonacci. And it's amazing what you see what they are. And that's what I was talking about. I mentioned it because I showed a piece of paper, but I didn't explain it. You know, and somebody said, man, what he said, the people demand an explanation, right? And I just got to get back to it, see what those to show what those inner themes are, right? But all we're dealing with is 9 numbers again. See what I'm saying? We're just dealing with 9 numbers, right? And so as we start to get in rhythm, it's like I get a chance to keep proving the 4.5 things. The 4.5 things. I'll show you the first 4.5 things, okay? All right? So if I give you the whole 3, we get 6. The lopsided 3 gives you 5. But it's not enough to know the lopsided 3 is 5. We got to speed it up and see that, oh, we recognize that 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, speed it up and see what your ear recognizes. Ding, 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 ding. It's like, hold it. I know that right there, right? So ding, 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 ding is the DNA signature of the 5. See what I'm saying? So the lopsided 5, we step to 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1 and 2 and 3. A whole 3 gives you the 6. Lopsided 3 gives you the 5. Okay? So the next odd number is 7. Right? So 7 is almost 8. Okay? So the whole 4 will give you the 8. The lopsided 4 will give you the 7. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 3, right? Again, I'm playing the rhythm like a chord. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 2, 3,
Man, that was a good way to say
da,
it.
da.
Playing it like a chord.
Yes,
That is it.
that's a chord. When you take the middles out, you will get in a triadic nature of the 7. Okay, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, da, 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 da. I'm gonna speed it up. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. It's like a jazz waltz. The lopsided 4, you speed it up, man, it turns into a jazz waltz. And it's like, whoa, are you kidding me, right? The lopsided 4 is so swinging, man, right? So I'm just gonna say this because we're recording, right? I don't expect you to understand it all the way.
Okay.
But the relationship between the lopsided 4 and the 6 is so beautiful, because if we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there's a whole 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the lopsided 4 is like a diminished 4. It's like it's not a whole 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So it's like diminished 4. But you can think of it as an augmented 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Now when we go here, that is so crazy, because now I can show you 7 is the shadow of 6. So wherever you can go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, da, da, da. And just by doing that, you slipped into the soul of 7 right there. It doesn't seem like you did anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just that little nugget pulls you into the relationship of 7 to 6. See, I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm doing it because we recorded.
I'm still here on this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. And
yeah, just swing it. 2, 3, da 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 da. Right? But the point is, you can feel that, right?
Yes.
It's almost as easy to feel as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. That now we got into that lopsided 4. Well, I don't have time to get into it. What happens is the closed shuffle is not the only way you do it. Just like if I go da 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 down da down da down da up down da up da 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 da. It's got 2 different looks. Down da up down da up down da up. Right? The first shuffle has a feminine up that produces 1 child. Down da up down da up down. Right? So so when we get to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down, 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 up. That's what it's trying to do. It might be 20 years before anybody really starts, unless I really press it. We're gonna always keep that closed. But it wants to go down, 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 the up, down, 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 the up, down, down, the up, down, down, the up. Now, just because I'm recording, this is the best way to do it. If you're doing a circle, down, 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 the up, kaboom, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's that thumb in there. That pivot.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of that 4.5 thing. It gives us the 7, which in music, the 5s and the 7 have been hazy. You know what I mean? Like we know where the 1 is over the beat. We know where the 2, the half note, 3, the quarter note, trip. We kind of got that down. Everybody's got 4/4 down, all the dance music. 5 gets a little hazy, and 6/8, we're back home again, right? 7, little hazy 16th notes, back home again. So when we get the 5s and the 7, those are the lopsided 3 and the lopsided 4. But those two figures are swinging, my friend, when we really get to know them. So anyway, I just want to say that because we're supposed to talk about mastery, and this is something that we gotta take time. You know what I mean? Because it's not an intellectual thing. Everybody's got to take time and feel it. You know, because we can feel this. We can feel this. Like if I can teach this at 16 notes. Like if we're playing do ba do ba do da, I can. If I want you to play 7s over that, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. You can barely count it, but you can count this 1 2 3 4 1 2 right? You could do that because now we're feeling it for what it is, right? We're not counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? We're just doing the lopsided 4. 1 2. So what I'll do is I'll get you to hold that, and then I play 4 against you. We're gonna go 2 different ways, but you won't have to slip because you can hold it. And you're playing. See what I mean? You start polyrhythm out. See what I'm saying? And it swings like that too. We're supposed to be swinging in the 16th notes too, and that's what you talk about with the flectones. We're always making the odd times groove because they're trying to groove. All the odd stuff is in the triplet family, you know, and we call them tuplets because they're not tri anymore. They're bigger than the triplet, but they're of the triplet family, you know, and they swing like that. So to flesh that theory out, the Black Page is the perfect scenario. Frank Zappa, troublemaker, man, he wrote it to be hard. You know what I mean? He wrote the thing just because he heard people at the coffee machine talking, the players, they'd be worrying about going to a jingle and all of a sudden seeing a page full of black notes and just like worrying that was going to happen. So Frank Zappa said, well, let me write one.
That's awesome.
And I think I just posted Bozio talking about when Frank Zappa opened his briefcase. What do you think of this, Bozio? Right?
Oh man.
Right? But I just want to bring a Philly Joe Jones, Elvin Jones attitude to it. Because I know the secret of I feel like I know the secret of odd numbers. You know, everybody thinks odd numbers are like, you know, and when I finish, it's like, man, we are just at home. When you see how this stuff is supposed to go, it's like, oh, I want to play the Black Play. You won't even recognize it, swinging so hard, you know. And so that's what I'm showing Bill and them, the way they're doing those quintuplets. It's just like it's fleshing like Buddy Rich. It's starting to get in that Buddy Rich kind of place where they're just clusters. They're just water fountains. So now I'm just starting to get him now to shift, right? You want to be able to shift from the 5 to the 4 to the 6, like easy, you know what I mean? And so Frank Zappa's Black Page gives us an opportunity to exercise it and learn how to shift, how to do the shifts. I said, now we're thinking in drum world, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. So rhythmic secrets, you know, and but it's all natural. It's all natural. It only might seem hard to people listening to me because I'm going through it fast. But everything here, we take our time with it. Because when we take our time, that's when your intuition latches onto it. You know, your intuition latches onto it, and your intuition tells you where you put your notes. And it's like, oh, everyone's intuition is so unique and so precious. Like all I do is just don't worry about going fast. It's gonna go fast on its own. Just take the time and enjoy it while it's slow, because it's gonna go fast and you'll forget that you even were slow at first. That's why I like to try to film people while they're still slow, because all of a sudden you hear Bill, you know, he's like a waterfall. You don't even hardly remember when he used to be slow. See what I mean? I gotta catch him, you know, because then they start teaching, and we're teaching way up here. We got to go back to the beginning, you know, where you only have one finger moving. Now all his fingers are dancing around. I remember when I was trying to get those fingers to dance, and all we're doing is alternating this one stroke between fingers, but it looks like all this crazy technique, you know, it's turning into something. And I think it's beautiful, man. Like people are posting some good stuff on Rhythm Hat, like all these crazy tabla drummers and stuff. you know, all of that tradition that they're bringing to it. You know, I think that, you know, with me doing the groove element, I get a chance to bring that Elvin Jones and this jazz type of element to that, because even some of the stuff that they're playing, like I have a way that I would play would be slightly in a different type of groove factor. Like there's one guy, he was clapping through something, and the way they wrote the figure was not the way he was playing it. He was playing 3 groups of 5s. Da, 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 da. And the way he was playing the 5s was like on a 3 pulse. Like when I say a 3 pulse, because if you're in 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. If you can just count 6, 8 over 4, then that gives you that 3 over 4, because you just split the 6, 8 into 2 parts. So if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, all you do is just count 6, 8 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That right there, now we split in groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, pop, pop, boom, ka, ka, boom, ka, ka, go. So I got 2 floors now, right? And at Zappa's Black Page, he builds off of that other floor. You know what I mean? He'll have 5, 5, 6, 5, 5, 6, 5, 5, 6. So you're doing, and what I'm telling Billy, man, that's supposed to be swinging, man. That's supposed to be swinging like Philly Joe Jones, man. That's not no stiff stuff right there. That's supposed to be no joke swing. You know what I mean? And so because they're learning to play rudiments on their instrument, they have the ability to now get there. Like I can now show them, because that's one thing Zappa's doing in the Black Pages. He's building off that 6/8 pulse over the 4 the whole time. That's the whole trick. That's one of his diabolical tricks in that, in that music. But once you know his trick, it's like, oh, okay. Now we can break it apart. You know, now we can start to break it apart. So it's like scaling a mountain. And that's why I keep relating to Alex Arnold, who climbed El Capitan. You know what I mean? This rock climber who climbed this mountain barehanded. That was impossible. See what I'm saying? His methodology, you know, is something that we can learn from when we're approaching, you know, things from a mastery level. I know we're talking about kung fu and mastery, that type of thing. And I have to say, you know, in relating to this show, man, I've always been into Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, The Tower of Jeet Kune Do, his book. Man, I used to read that book and I was just like, man, he's writing his philosophy so clear. It's just so clear what he's writing, man. I'm like, wow, this is not even his first language, man. He can express it in his art, you know, but he can express it in his with his pen. So beautiful. That was just very inspiring for me. And that thing of using no way as a way. You know what I mean? Here we are, boom. Man, as I sit here, 1 tour canceled, 2nd tour canceled, 3rd tour canceled. Hopefully the 4th one's not going to get canceled at the end of May. But you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, this is Jeet Kune Do, man. We're trying to make a way out of no way, man. You know, that type of thing. You know, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, man. So same thing, you know, when I'm dealing with the players, everyone, like even with Bill, what they're doing, I told him in the beginning, I said, man, this is all experimental. I don't know that I know it in theory, but I don't know that somebody will actually get it to go the way that I know that it can go. And so Keaton was the first bass player that actually got it going. And he said he got it going because I had a camera on him. You know what I mean? So he worked on my house, right? Helping build the house. And he wanted drum lessons. And so I was showing him stuff on drums, but I said, Keaton, I can show you more drums on your bass than I can show you on the drums. Because on the drums, I have to wait for your technique to get there. But on the bass, it's just right there. You know what I mean? When they're going 5-stroke roll, right, left, right, 2 plucks, I'm just like, you don't even know how powerful that is. To just be able to go pluck, pluck, and it's popping, and it's clear, and it's crisp, and all you got to do is line it up, pop, pop, ka, ka, poo. It just keeps getting more powerful. It's like you just don't know how powerful that is until somebody got it going. I was like, now you see what's going on, right? So I actually have Keaton. Like if I didn't have this film, Keaton couldn't remember when he was struggling. You know what I mean? Because he could just do it. Right? I have to catch them when they're like babies learning to walk. You can't remember when you were struggling. But it's good to see that. Boom. The reason why is because I always stress with people to enjoy it while it's slow, because that's when your intuition is getting it. You know what I mean? It's your intuition that tells you what notes to play. When I start introducing, it's about 5 people, right? They all choose their notes. I don't tell them what notes to play. You know what I mean? I'm just showing this is a principle. You know, we're just going to apply to this principle with the advantages that are on your instrument. Like, it's like you hitting, you're tapping, like Andy Pond the other day on banjo, right? He said, will the tap work on the acoustic banjo on the electric? I said, no, man. The tap is a powerful stroke, man. You use it in a combination. You hit here or thumb here on the banjo, tap over here, pluck over here, and tap again. It's like you got multiple kung fu going on. It's like it don't, it's multiple attacks. Piano can't attack multiple attacks like that. See what I mean? That's a virtue of this particular instrument that we're taking extreme advantage of. You know what I mean? This is some Navy SEAL advantage right here. Like, this is some Jedi Sith advantage on this instrument right here. Like, we can still do the techniques on a piano or vibes or something, but there's an advantage by hearing it on the guitar with everything popping and plucking and digging. It's crazy, man. It gets crazy, man. So for me, it's enjoyable to see people able to get into the drum language now. Now I'm sort of able to talk to them in drum language. And so in drum language now, we got this technique, but now we start using the 5 next to a 6, next to a 4, and see what it feels like. See what it feels like to shift, right? Like I was showing Bill the other day, these 4s. I said, in the Black Page, man, I'm stylizing that 4 so slick. There's nobody gonna stylize that 4. Like, most time, like if you play the Black Page, it's gonna be triple lip 5, triple lip 5. But I'm playing the 4 like da 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 da. The 4 is just so strong, da da da, and then I stylize it, da 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 da. Right? So now we swinging, man. That's the Black Page. That's the first measure on one of the measures. We should be able to go backwards and forwards, man, until it just becomes something in your arsenal now. You know what I mean? And so it's fun just kind of fleshing it out, but giving this drum stuff to them. You know what I mean? It's like, I can show you more drums on it. I know when he said that, he thought I was just, what are you talking about, right? But he knew when he got it, it was like, whoa. He said, man, I've never played this fast before, right? I've never played this fast before, right? And so now it's just like, okay, so it's a way of thinking. Like, so I had to tell Bill, these 4s, ta, ska, ga, da, da. I can straighten it out. Can you hear that?
Sometimes,
right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? But I'm a stylist. Straight, stylized. I was saying that same thing is the same thing when Billy Cobham's playing Stratus. It's the same shuffle, in a different way. Instead of it's like this. Right? That thing is swinging, you know. Right? And so Bill and them can quintuple it. Right? The point that I'm driving home is like, this stuff cannot be clinical in your attitude. There's nothing clinical. We've got to make this stuff, it's all humanistic, because everything odd is of the tuplet family. So we gotta get into it like that. We gotta find out how it relates to that swing. It's swinging however you put it, it's swinging. See what I mean? And so I think that's going to be the making the odd times groove thing. And there's a couple little secrets. That take some time to really get into. Like when I showed you 5 turns into 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, ta, ta, ta. There's some couple of secrets we got to get into to open that up. But it's gonna be a good journey though, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I love the idea, like you said, about like rhythmic harmony or whatever. Just the same exact way we build an chord, like the same way. That is such a good way to think about it. Because for me, I think in 2s and 3s, typically, there's other ways to break it, but that's a different approach. That's a different style. Like just building the chord. That's so cool.
Right. So I heard somebody on YouTube. He said we need a one approach that addresses all of it. And what happens with 2s and 3s, it's just a different, you can make up different pathways, you know what I mean? And those pathways will get you everywhere. But in this way, I feel like it's kind of just an overall theory that we can get it, right? So like right away, I can get a whole class, right? So we went back to where my man said he was explaining tuplets and he just put 19 up because it's going to look hard, and then he took it off, right? Right? But I'm going to say, okay, let's look at 19. 19 is almost what? It's almost 20, right? So if I play 10, it's going to give me the 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, right? Well, now we're going to play a lopsided 10. 1, 2, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, right? And so right away, I can get drummers. I say, now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ta-da. That's just a big shuffle. It's just a shuffle that went da, da-da, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, da-da, 4, right? My point is that when you shift, that shift is swinging. You know, it's not a stiff thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's always swinging. So check this out. Because it's always swinging, a lot of times, you're going to feel the ding, ding, da, ding signature at the end. Usually the number before the last number. So I'm going to, at 9, when I get to 9 before the 10, you're going to see the ding, ding, da, ding shift out swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ding, ding, ding. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, da, da, 2, 3, 4. See, you see the ding, ding, the ding out, right? Yeah. So even though we're at the bigger numbers, with the bigger shuffles, now we just navigate in that space, but we can swing out, not just get on, we're swinging out. Right? So now we hit 19 and it's like not a big deal, man. See what I'm saying? It's just space. It's just space and opportunity. So if we're a drummer or a bass player, what you're doing in that space, if we're grooving, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, boom, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, boom, 9, boom, 9, 10, you know what I mean? Like you getting your stuff off in the middle. You know what I mean? And you just shift it out, right? So now with that concept, I could say 21. And what am I asking for? Well, 21 is almost
It's almost 20.
21.
22.
Right. So what's half of 22?
11. So we got 11.
So if I do a whole 11, I'll get 22. We do a lopsided 11. 1, 2, lopsided 11.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boom, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boom, 2, 3. And usually the number before the end one shows you where the ding, ding, the ding out is. When you get to 10, we get ready to swing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, right? Right? So if I want to do 22, it's just a straight 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. See what I'm saying? The difference between the lopsided and the full is all we're doing. So now when we say 19 this, it's like it's not a big deal because we're navigating it now. You know what I'm saying? We're getting that Rubik's Cube. Look at what's going on, you know. So anyway, there's a little master insight.
Damn, dude. Well, that's amazing. Yeah, we're taking it somewhere.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right, man.
Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I love it. No, I think it's awesome. I'm gonna play with that some more too. And like I pay attention to you guys, like the way you play drums with your brothers when you guys do that thing where you like start at anywhere like 13 or 11 and just keep walking it down. Like that's the same thing. That's what you're doing there. And that groove is so nice in all those times.
Right. Yeah. It's really cool because I did a rhythm class with Vic and we were talking about how when we did this tune Almost 12. It's almost 12, so it was an 11, you know? And we were phrasing it in the 2s and 3s. Quick. The 2s will be quicks and the 3s will be slow. Quick, slow, quick.
Yeah, this is the normal
slow, quick, but, right? And so by doing that, we're not counting anymore. That was the rhythm hack, right? Counting is like a default. Like we got to leave count behind, you know? And so we're just holding on to that phrase, quick, slow, quick, slow, quick, right? So now here's a little secret that I do a lot of times, right? When we get to the slow, I don't always think of the slow as a quick, triplet, quick. I think of the triplet as a shuffle. Quick, ta, go, do, quick, ta, da, da, right? I take the shuffle, take the middle out, and let it hop. You know what I mean? So ka, ga, ga. And so it just gives that space. Ta, 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 so Big had the two. Boom, 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 quick, slow, quick. But I'm catching the backs. Quick, slow, quick, slow, quick. And it gives a feeling like I'm going like this, you know. But you know, make it odd times natural, man. We won a Grammy Award for that. You know what I mean? Like you get amazing, a Grammy Award for doing a tune in 11 something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that works. You know that's something to write home about. You know, to get a Grammy trophy for a tune in 11. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But the idea though is just to make it natural. You know, it's just to make it natural. And one thing that I'll just keep hammering home is the odd times are where the music is skipping instead of walking. That's what's happening. Anytime you see the odd time. And right now, everybody's trying so hard to count. And they're trying so hard to count. You feel that you feel that little stunted thing, you know, when you get to the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, like everybody just trying to get to the measure of safe, you know what I mean? Just, you know, you just get through the measure, and I'm so glad to get through it. It's behind me, you know what I mean? Rather than like we're sinking into that shuffle. Like they all can be time signatures. So that's going to be the thing as we navigate the black page. Like I said, Bill, we should just be able to stay in this measure. We play quintuplet, right? We should go backwards. Quintuplet, quintuplet, triplet, quintuplet, quintuplet, you know, forwards, backwards, just this section. Triplet, quintuplet, triplet, I mean, that's a lick right there. Triplet, quintuplet, quintuplet. It doesn't sound like I'm doing nothing related to the black page right there. I'm more in the Philly Joe Jones world. I'm doing that. There's the quintuple. Just going backwards, forwards, right? And we're just sinking into it, just getting it home with the combinations, with the water fountains, right? But we're gonna swing harder than the water fountains, you know. And so the fretted instruments just have such a very unique advantage. Like I was just on the Zoom with Bill and a saxophone player, and we were just exploring the percussion that we could pull out here. You know, I was like, double tongue. He said, yeah, but they don't sound even. I said, but that's good. We don't want them to sound even. When you go ta and ka, that's called double tongue. So you're hitting with the front of your tongue and then the back of your tongue. It's like TK. And that's giving me a different attack. And so we're trying to see how we can play off of that 2 note, 3 note. You know, how we can slur off of that to get this percussion, you know what I mean? We're getting to where every instrument is a drum and just finding where it is on these wind instruments too, to get there. But it's so right there for the fretted instruments. So it's just so nice to see, it's an experimental thing where I'm seeing some of the people apply themselves to it. So the thing was, when I got it with Keaton, it took a little while, and Bill saw Keaton, and he just went home, man. He didn't even go to sleep, man. He said he was watching TV all night, man. He came back like in 2 weeks, man. It was like 3 weeks, like ripping, man. I was like, wow, man. And that showed me the power of group motivation, like where they're inspiring each other. And then Chris said, man, I'm not letting them leave me, man. So now he's in there. It's like, you know, they got a friendly, like a little friendly rivalry where they're pushing each other. And Keaton's got a whole crazy thing, you know, Chris Keating, you know, and then my girlfriend Cynthia, you know, she has this thing where she mutes the thing and it gets this sweet banjo kind of sound, but she has a harmonic ear. She's got a real harmony ear, man. So she goes a whole different way, you know, and then there's one banjo player. He's like, I got 5 people. That was my experiment, right? And there's one guy, 6th dude, is a banjo player in Asheville. I call him Banjo Bradley, but it's Bailey. Somebody Bailey from Asheville. And he's doing some nice stuff. And so I'm just waiting. When the banjo player gets that thing ripping the way the bass players are going, you're going to hear the next Earl Scruggs type of rolling. You know what I mean? Like the banjo world, like, even Baylor, like I've showed Baylor stuff, but Baylor's so genius, right? He got his, you know what I mean? It's hard for him to stop, you know what I mean? It's hard for him to stop, you know, all his flow to do this, because when you do this is the tortoise and the hare, man. The turtle wins the race. Whoever can slow down wins. See what I'm saying? So the people trying to run, it's like that's not the way it happens. In drum technique, it just takes time. It goes faster on your instrument, but most people are not patient enough just to settle down and just find the coordination. Just let the coordination, because all it is like everybody's just getting used to what's going on, and it'll speed up on its own.
That's awesome.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and that's basically the principle of Kung Fu, which essentially translates to mastery through time and effort. And it's all about time and effort and mastering the foundation without ego, which is going slow and just taking, like you said, because that's the easy way to progress fastest.
It's almost like the consciousness of the shape. It's almost like a rhythm and ritual. Something being a ritual. There's something ritualistic about it. And you're just applying yourself to this ritual, and it takes you where it's trying to go. You know what I mean? And so if your ego, can stay out of the way, where, you're not tripping up, just settle down and just let yourself get acclimated. It's almost like jogging. You know what I mean? You don't just start off being able to win a race. You know what I mean? You start off, you go slow. And then all of a sudden, somebody else is slow, is fast to you. Man, I remember, man, I'm running 11 miles, man, and I'm like tired. I'm running, and somebody just like look like they're not doing nothing, and they're just passing me up. You know what I mean? They don't even look like they're doing anything. Just, this is the tortoise and the hare. You know what I mean? The person going slow is the one that's gonna like really get it, and it's not gonna feel like you're going fast. All of a sudden you're just going fast, and that's why I'm always. I keep saying the slow part's so precious, right? It's so precious because if I wasn't filming, you won't remember it. Like it's hard for Bill to remember where he started, because Bill was like, he saw it happening, so he was always trying to do too much. He was trying to make it be what it was. Like, no, it's just this simple thing. That's all it is. You're doing too much. He was doing too many things. And it was like a person stuttering. You know what I mean? Like where you're trying so hard that you're stuttering. It's like, just relax. And now I bet you he can't remember that. I bet you he can't remember that. You know what I mean? People get fascinated. It's so natural. It just, you're a part of it. That's why I keep saying you're a genius, man. We're mining for your genius. Because all we did was just getting a little closer. Your genius is there. But we're just adding like these principles, like the Ark of the Covenant, man. We're just giving you a funnel that's amplifying what's already there, and just letting your genius sing through some other techniques and technologies. And if I could say anything with melody players, it's like I just always try to say, I'm not trying to take away anything that you do naturally. You can always go that. You can always freestyle, do whatever you want to do. But we're just going to learn to let you think the way drummers think. And then see what you can do with it, because really, you have on this instrument, you have a chance to like show drummers something, man. You know what I mean? Like when I see it on their instruments, I'm hearing like this Buddy Rich technology on a fretted instrument, playing triads and arpeggios and stuff. Like drummers aren't going to do that. Drummers are not going to do that with that rhythm. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow. When I hear it, it's just like, wow, man. Now you show me something. Yeah, it's like we're taking drum technology, but when I give it to you here, you're putting it on a matrix that's got notes everywhere. See what I'm saying? So you're gonna play those rolls and stuff back in a melodic fashion. That's just like, whoa, man. It's very exciting for me to hear what's going on, man.
Yeah, I think it's something that harmonic or melodic players definitely need to hear and really start with, because rhythm is really the foundation. It's like, this is the foundation,
Yeah.
So definitely the place to start. And that's an interesting way to think, like you just mentioned, like with the drum. And I totally hear what you're saying about this, like sounding completely different, but it being the same thing, but it giving new ideas from this melodic perspective too.
Yeah. Right, because I'm taking the technology that we doing, man, there's a guy on Rhythm Hackers, and they posted this hand drum, so the big frame drum. And I did a little clip where because they do this thing where they're playing the drum, and they're not just hitting it, they start snapping, and it pops the drum like that. And so he does this thing where he starts popping through multiple fingers. And he's kind of doing that on this finger too. and it's just so smooth, man. It's like, that's the essence of what we're talking about. Because he got numbers going all over the place, but it's just all working like a flock of birds. That was just so nice, so beautiful. And so with what I'm showing on these fretted instruments are starting to get to that place. You know what I mean? It's starting to get to that place. This is all experimental, man. This is like, so, you know what I mean? Like I told Keaton when we first started, I said, look, man, this is an experiment. You know, I'm hoping nobody gets hurt. You know what I mean? But this is a total experiment. But I think I can show you drum world. You know what I mean? That's like Buddy Rich and these jazz drummers. They're all going so fast, you never know what they're doing. You know, they're just, it's a blur, right? But we can get that here, you know? And so it's neat to see. And then when we get it here, like Buddy Rich would never play all them notes with it. So it's like, whoa, we're seeing like people showing us something now. You know, where are they going with it? Yeah,
man, that's an amazing perspective to keep as a teacher too, because like you're showing these people stuff, but then you're the one learning more out of the end of what they're doing. That's an outstanding perspective.
Okay, so check it out, right? Because I have to think, you know, our Reg, who first learned thumping from Larry Graham, showed it to Vic and all of that, and they coming up with all these crazy thumps. They're paving the way. See what I'm saying? They're paving. I'm like, dude, they're ready for drum world, really, right? All you gotta do is show them a couple of techniques, and they're like, you know, boom. So so I'm showing them the 5-stroke roll, right? So check this out. I'm just going off what you just said, right? So I'm showing them hit. You know, the 5-stroke roll is right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left. But I'm showing it to them like this: right, left in the tap, right, right, 2 plucks, tap. So right, left, pluck, pluck, tap. That's so nasty right there. You just don't know, man. You got 5 different strokes and then nobody's working hard. Boom, ka, dee, dee, ka, boom, tap, pluck, pluck, tap, hit, ka, tuck, pluck, tap. That's what it is. Ka, 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 right? So they just start moving around. The key, what I wanted to show is this finger right here. Boom, tap, pluck, pluck, tap. In the beginning, you just got to get it with one finger. You know what I mean? And then when that finger gets comfortable, what you see, I said, now you just start alternating the fingers. Boom, cat, duh, duh, next finger, boom, cat, duh, duh, cat, duh. So that's what you see them doing, and their fingers are doing that. And then they'll substitute this finger for this finger, substitute this finger for this finger, and so their fingers are dancing. It looks like they're all over the place. And that was the thing we wanted to see, the fingers dance inside of that matrix, right? But when they're going boom, ka, duh, duh, ka, boom, ka, right? So we're starting with the thumb, right? So when we started with the thumb, because Keaton and them working with Reds, they starting it in the left hand doing a displacement. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They start with the 5. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, because now they can orient their direction on the neck. Bah, ka, 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 ka. So they're doing a displacement. And I didn't see that coming, man. Like they're displacing the 5. Ka, 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 ka. Now they're directing where they're going. Now they can direct where they're going on the neck. Total displacement of the 5. I'm like, yeah, the kids are they're out of control now. You know what I mean? They're just out of control, man. But that's beautiful because now there's some stuff down the road where we're going to want to start from here, then switch over here. You know what I mean? So they're getting ready for that. But it's like they went there on their own, man. It's like, wow, that's sweet, man. So they're going, that's Keaton doing that. He's showing everybody that. The first troublemaker. You know, displacing it, starting in the left hand. That's guitar world now, taking that and running with it because there's advantages on that instrument. So I think when I told Keaton, I can show you more drums here, I think he believes it now. You know, like I wasn't just saying that just to say something, right? Because if I waited for you to get that technique on the drum, you might not ever get to that technique on the drums. The way they can rip up and down like a waterfall, sheets of sound. You be playing drums a long time before I get you there. You could get there, right? But you can get there on your bass, you know, like I can get you there, you know what I mean? Well, on the drums, I gotta wait, man. I gotta wait, you know, gotta wait for the technique. But all on here, you don't have to wait for the technique. All you do is just go slow to get it even. That's all, you know, just get it even. Yeah. So anyway,
Wow.
that's the thing that's exciting to see. You know, you share something and then you see it come back like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? I never heard the 5-stroke roll like that before. You know, it's really kind of getting into this Art Tatum kind of place, because Art Tatum had all that rhythm. So the last thing I would like to say this is that when we talk about rhythm, the essence of being funky is the secret, right? So here's something you might not realize. If you look at all the jazz people who made like the really serious impact, you take somebody like Charlie Parker, the rhythm was killing, right? The rhythm is actually more funky than it is, quote unquote, swinging. Like when they're going, that's all funk right there. That's making it swing. See what I'm saying? The swing is going around it, but they're cutting on the funk edge is what makes it work. And when you realize the ones that are swinging the hardest are the funkiest. They're the funkiest, man. You know what I mean? Listen to Bird, man. He just said he wanted to sound like Art Tatum's right hand. You listen to Art Tatum's right hand, is just so funky, man. It's like you don't realize it because he's swinging so hard, but what's making it swing is this stream of funk. You know what I mean? Oh man, like Coltrane. Like when I posted what's her name? Bajri from India singing the Coltrane solo. I don't know if you saw that, right? But I posted where I slowed it down, you know, and I made the video from the tape with the speed slow. So you could hear she was in there, man, and it was just funky. It was so funky, I could put a hip hop beat underneath it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? What's John Cole? Ba da 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 da. Literally, you could put the New Jack Swing, you could put Teddy Riley under there, you could just like somebody, if they hear that's gonna do it. That's how funky, right? But you hear how it's funky. See what I mean? It's swinging, but it's funky, right? That's not always so obvious how they relate. The funk, man. You know what I mean? The ones that are swinging the hardest are the funkiest. You know what I mean? Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, yeah, that dude was funky, man. You know what I mean? Those runs, like if you learn them runs, you'll have the funkiest runs on your bass. You know? If you learn them runs, you know? Kind of like Jocko. What's the tune he did? The Miles Davis tune, Donna Lee. Who's ever the funkiest is gonna swing it the hardest. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's good.
Who's ever the funkiest, man, and that's what I like about salsa music so much. You know what I mean? Because they kind of got that funky side. You know what I mean? Like they keep the dance floor still going. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You see the salsa thing going, man. I gotta post my man, Jesus a greater. I interviewed him and stuff, but you gotta see him, man. This dude is like, there's just joy coming off. You know, and the salsa thing's got that, it's got that funky thing going too, and it's swinging too. So it's got that kind of merge, and
even the dancers got the funk face and salsa, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Got the stank face.
They got the stink face. So it's very interesting because in the salsa big bands, the dance floor is still full. A lot of the jazz bands, that dance floor is not full. You know?
Yeah.
Right? Salsa, that funk is in there. See what I mean? Sometimes the jazz is so swinging that the funk is not all the way present sometimes. You know what I mean? You know, in salsa music, the funk's got to be present. You know what I mean? It's got to be present, man. you know, Tito Puente, all these guys, you know, you know, the funk has to be present, man. Yeah. So anyway, that's just little insights, man. This is like little Jedi training stuff. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
little
man.
Jedi training, you know?
Yes. Yeah, you said a lot of things that anyone can take and practice their Jedi, mind tricks. Like just take like I say, like in one thing I do in the Kung Fu program is like we practice short forms and long forms. And martial arts is form, just like music, there's form, but there's short forms and long forms.
Yeah.
And you first train on the short forms to understand the long forms. Like you said, take one measure and play it forwards and backwards and rip it upside down. And just there's a short form,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so beautiful, man. Stop talking about form, because that's what I love so much about these tabla drums. And there's so many of them teaching. Like Zakir Hussein was on there today. You know what I mean? He posted some lesson he did. Somebody posted that up there. And they can sing their form. I mean, they just have this form. And this one guy, he's another guy who's just super clean. I mean, this dude is super duper clean. And he'll do it slow. And then he's just doing it like hummingbird speed, you know what I mean? But he could slow it down, show it to, then he goes, he's like, and it's totally clean. But that form thing is really something, And so, you talk about Kung Fu and the pattern and stuff. There is a picture somewhere of Bruce Lee in headphones, right? And it said he's listening to Indian music. He's listening to Indian rhythms. And what he was doing was learning broken rhythms, all the odd times. It wasn't just straight time. So he was absorbing the broken rhythms because he was mastering broken rhythms in fighting, because he know he can set up a fighter and then break the rhythm. See what I'm saying? And by breaking the rhythm, you create your opening. You lull the person into a pattern, think you're doing that, and then you break it.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, that's Bruce Lee, right? And there's a picture of him in headphones. They say he's listening to Indian music. You know what I mean?
Awesome, man.
Studying broken rhythm. There you go, right there. So you know what I mean? Right? Because it's like you like a snake charmer. Boom, you set that dude up, you just lull him into a rhythm. Boom, and then you break the rhythm. And it's like,
that's also a good idea to like have make some interesting suspenseful, or not suspenseful, but exciting things in your solo or something like that in a solo, for example.
Yeah.
It's like they think you got, like right when the people think they got it, it's like bam,
Right. Right. You just setting up boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka. If you do anything 3 times, it's the law. Boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, boom, ka, boom. You know what I mean? Like after 3 times, you just, whoa, we knew where you're going, and then you change it on us. And by doing that too, you lull the person into following you on the solo too.
That's
like, okay, yeah. I'm with you. You're carrying them along the journey and not moving too fast where nobody knows where you're at. It's like, oh, you repeat something. And that's composure a lot of times. Like a composure is like if you make a mistake, if you just do it again and then just do it again and then fix it. You know what I mean? All of a sudden it becomes a thing. Vic's good at teaching that. Vic's really good at teaching that, because your mistake is always one note away from somewhere that's home. You know what I mean? If you hit the wrong note, it's just, you can choose which way you're going to go to fix it. So just mess with it and get there. Now you can pass and tone your way back to safety, and you don't have to freak out. You know what I mean? And Vic's good, really good at really teaching that. Taking a solo with all the wrong notes, because he's just making everything feel good.
Yeah.
Everything's just feeling right. Then when he gets to the right note, it's like, whoa, right? And then if you're playing everything right and you hit that one wrong note, whoa, it just has that tension. It's like you got everybody's attention, kind of thing, So, yeah, so all of this is part of drama too, And if from a master class standpoint, it seems like the overview of what we're getting to is like, I always say the arts, like music and the arts, is actually like the fundamental part of a STEM program that's left out. When we say a STEM program, we're talking about teaching science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's like the thing, STEM programs, STEM program. But they don't have the A in there for the arts, which makes it STEAM. And the arts, man, is what, I mean, the arts is, you know, is everything, man. It's music, mathematics. You know what I mean? It's everything, man. The arts, man, athletics. It's like you leave that out, you left out a lot. You know what I'm saying?
All of
And if you,
creation, maybe.
yeah, because see, like with Dane, like when I'm posting these records that I'm doing with Dane, we're actually looking at Fibonacci and pi as chord charts. Like a jazz musician looks at the changes on the chord chart. So it goes 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 5. And we're just looking at those numbers diatonically. So 1 is a root. It's like if you're in the key of C, 1 is C. You know, 2 is, you know, is re. You know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, 1 through 8. 9 is the ninth, right? And on 0, we rest, right?
Yeah.
On 0, we rest, and you watch what happens, man. It's just like, whoa, right? And so we're just playing it like with jazz music, a chord chart. And we just use this formula where Dane, we just started minor and major, just alternated, minor, major. You know, 3 minor, 1 major, 4 minor, 1 major, 5 minor, you know, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2. And alternate, man, it's just like, man, we're just like reading a fake book, man. You know, it's so sweet. It's just like, wow. See, now we've left the realm of a mathematician. I can't talk to a mathematician like that, right? But maybe we're getting close to the meaning of something in here, especially as it relates to architecture. You know what I mean? If I'm associating pitches with those numbers, knowing that pitches relates to the language, we're already king to queen's level beyond where the mathematician is going. Because the mathematician's still looking for patterns. That's looking for patterns in Shakespeare. You don't know how to read the language. You know what I mean? You counting the E's and the F's. I don't have nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? To be or not to be. How many T's is that? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you're a mathematician, man. You got to be an artist on this. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing, you know? And so if you leave the arts out of steam, I'm just trying to hammer home my point. You leave the arts out of steam, man. Y'all sitting around counting patterns all day. It's like you make a digital TV and forget to put the programs on there. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a digital TV. It's all about mathematics, but you got no good shows. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. You know, there's no good communication. There's no, you know what? You're going to have people sit there and look at a blank screen all day because you made the TV. You know, it's that type of thing. The arts, man.
That's also makes me think of like just like ripping the life out of music, you know, the difference between giving it life or kind of taking it, you know, sometimes thinking too technically without the art, like we can do that in our music easily too, you know, be the architecture without the art, you know.
Yes,
maybe.
Yes. Yeah. No. Because
or maybe we're just looking at the plans in that time. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
You know?
That's literally what I want to do with the Black Page. I want to play it where you don't even know we're playing the Black Page. You don't even know that's what we're playing because we're playing it forwards and backwards. You know, it's just so slick that you just didn't know it was that slick, man. You know what I mean? When you hear 5 ding 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 and jazz and the blues, it's all there. You know, like when I say blues, that's the Tony Williams 5 when he goes 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3, right? That's straight, but you can stylize it like this. Same thing, but I'm just stylizing. Straight, blues. Stop. Now, you didn't know 5 is going to be that cool. See what I'm saying? We're putting the spirit of 5 on the Black Page now. So it's like, whoa. So it's going back to what you said, you know, like we can like really put the interpretation in what these phrases are trying to do. You know what I mean? Because now it's just because I understand it, it makes me dig into, okay, what is this measure actually trying to do here? You know, which I think is even beyond what Frank Zappa know, but sometimes you need a troublemaker to stir stuff up. And then you sit back and look at it, it's like, oh, wow. He threw some combinations. You know, it's kind of like when people dealing with drum machines and then you hear JoJo Mayer go in and play like the drum machine because it challenged the live player to get in there. So you have a troublemaker like Zappa throwing rhythms around like a normal drummer is just gonna be more in the comfort zone, and he just threw the comfort zone out the window, right? And so now it's like looking in, there was a lot. Oh, okay. So he put all of these quote unquote odd numbers together in some odd ways, which gives us an opportunity. You know, it's kind of an El Capitan type of opportunity to really go in there and humanize that thing. You know what I mean? So anyway, my thing of making odd times groove is just a thing I want to keep getting into. And I think it helps people. Like I have a lot of people say they didn't know how to play odd times, you know, and in just our short time, I had to give them a way to think about odd times that aren't odd. Because the part that you call odd is where the ding, ding, da ding is. The ding, ding, da ding is the dinging back to the one, which is what the shuffle does with the three. It's the same thing that the shuffle does with the three. Da, da, da. You know what I mean? It skips to the one. So when you do a bigger one, da, 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 it's just the same thing. If I just say it enough times, it's like, oh,
and then you can apply it to any rhythm.
Yes. Or you can because you can play this over funk. See, so now it's like you can play odd times over 16th notes and group those 16th notes into all kinds of grouping. So if I'm going boost, boom, boom, and I just want you to play streams of fives over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what most people do, right?
Yeah.
But we want to think of the five as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just like the chord of five, so we can feel the set. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now we can take the journey of five, which is going all over the four, like a dolphin coming out of the water. You're coming in and out of the measure. See what I mean? Now we're like the whale, we're out here, but we're coming back. Whoosh.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like, why does a whale do that, man? Like, you in the water, you big, but you got to come out like you a bird. Whoosh. Right?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing now.
This is how we put the life in the music, too, you know, for real.
Exactly. Now that's what we're going to do. We're coming out the measure, and we're coming back in. Whoa. Yeah. Right? Because we don't get lost now by playing the chord five. We can hang on to it. And believe it or not, you can do the bigger ones like that too. So like if I give you like, say, a bigger one. So if I say 11, right? But we're not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2. We're not doing that, right? We're thinking of 11 as a lopsided, a half of 12 is 6, right? So the 11 is a lopsided 6. So all we're thinking is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So now you can play 11s over a groove in 16 notes. 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, right? All kind of polyrhythms happening, right? But we're holding on to the chord and not all that counting going on. See what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right?
Much easier to just remember a rhythmic pattern, you know?
Right. And then what happens is we got to spend more time with it. But by the time we get to 6, it's some kind of form of a lower 3. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 4, 1 and 2 and 3. 4, 1. Right? We're back to that 4.5 again. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? We get right back to that 4.5. This stuff does 4.5 things.
Yeah, because we keep breaking it down to its root. It keeps going back there.
Right. You keep coming back down.
Oh man!
And when the numbers get big, they're just octave ideas of a root thing. Now it takes a minute just to like think. Okay, what is this big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, da 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 da. Right? We keep breaking it back down, right? Because the numbers are so finite, but we can do everything with them. You know what I'm saying? And so that gets fun after a while. You're doing these big numbers, but you just keep breaking them back down. You keep pulling them back in. You know, it's like, but that takes a little time. It should be, it's not like a super intellectual thing. It's like, oh, what is that? 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But at least we're not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're out of that. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? Because we're seeing the chord of the rhythm. The rhythm has a chord, and that chord has an identity. You know what I mean? That chord has an identity, and usually when the numbers start getting big, the identity is a couple of octaves down. You don't see what the identity of it is yet, you know? But still, counting the lopsided 6 is way better than counting 11. You can't do it. You slow yourself down. But when we do that, now I can play anytime against you. You know what I mean? And all you do is just kind of ignore me. We just stay together. Even if I was playing in a different time, if I was playing in 7/8, but you just hold your thing, we're just like, whoa, right? But you can hang on to it. You know, you can hang on to the pulse. So that really opens up. That really opens up some stuff right there. You know?
Yes, sir. Amazing.
Right.
Man. All right, Roy. Well, I think we should call it. But dude, you've given so many cool, amazing insights, and I hope the listeners. By the way, whoever's listening to this, check out Roy's page, Rhythm Hackers, if you want to dig in more and try some of this. It's amazing, and there's some amazing people in there. You know.
Yeah, there's some good people, man. Who just somebody cool just showed up. Sugarfoot. Yeah, I saw Sugarfoot just showed up. Played drums with the Jacksons.
Oh man,
Jonathan Moffett. Drummers know who he is. John Sugarfoot Moffett is in there. It's like,
that's amazing.
Man, some bad cats coming up in here, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool, man. Yeah. So, what's the name of your program here?
Kung Fu Music Lessons.
Wow.
Kung Fu Music Lessons. It's all about, applying basically, I didn't talk about it in here, but basically it's all about applying the same principles the Shaolin monks are doing at the temple to learning music. And it's simply, like their egoless daily, as Reggie called it once, religion. And I said, I asked him about religion one time, and he said, well, whatever you do every day is your religion. I thought that was cool. So it's like, it's about that lifestyle, that long-term, lifelong commitment to fundamental, foundational stuff,
Yes.
And putting in the time and effort and being cool with that, because there really is no shortcuts. Like, as much as we want there to be, the shortcut is being the tortoise, like you said. Like, that is the shortcut for real.
Yeah. And then sometimes the shortcut is like getting with someone that knows. See what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm getting ready to take a few people through the Black page, and I guarantee there's nobody thinking of it like this. See what I mean? It's like, I'm just not going to let you just do it and get by. It's like, no, this thing is swinging right there. You know what I mean? Like Bruce Lee said, what was that? You know what I mean? An exhibition? We want some emotional content. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah. So it's like, you're going to see me like, like I'm going too far. Like, I know when I go da 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 da, I'm stylizing that for us. Da 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 da. I can straighten it out. Da 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 da. But I'm just giving it style. Because I'm turning it into Philly Joe Jones and Elvin now. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, we're really giving the numbers like the pull and the push that they're aiming for, And so that's the fun of it. And when you talk about the Shaolin thing, music is sort of on that religious level like that, man. Because it's like, at the end of the time, the angel plays a trumpet. At the beginning of the time, angel comes out with a trumpet. David plays the harp. It's like this music. In the beginning was the rippling on the face of the waters of the deep. And when you see the cymatics that I put, I say, you see what they're talking about. You hit that tone, man, that water ripples, right? And then you start seeing all of these designs. And when you see the designs, they look like the designs in the church windows. The church have all those stone designs. Those are cymatics, man. Like, who's ever making them churches, like, they understand something about this language, man. You know what I mean? These patterns, there's more to it than we know. There's more to these symbols, and that the fact that music generates these symbols, man, that's just like, what are you talking about, man? I'm just making up a tune. Like, you're making up more than a tune.
Right.
You just didn't know it, right? So all this kind of ritualistic thing with the monks, I just think the music really does delve into that. And the artist, this is the last thought I'd like to leave with you. Your art is so heavy. You just don't know it, right? So that you working on your music, this person's writing their song, this person has their poem. I say, really sink into that. And the importance of that is that your art and stuff is stuff that can be remembered in the ages to come. So like right now, we look at the news, presidents and Congress, people walking around with their chest stuck out like they're all important and stuff. You know, people got you at home. They feel very powerful, man. They tell you to jump, you got to jump. They tell you put a mask on. They tell you this, right? They feel really important, right? They feel like your little song don't mean anything. But I always ask people, and I could go to any class. I ask my kid, the little kids, right? How many people heard of Mozart? Everybody raised their hand. I was like, can anybody tell me who the president or the king was during Mozart's time? No hands go up, right? So when Mozart was around, he was just a little musician dude. He was talented when he was a kid. But, you know, the king didn't think of him on his level. See what I'm saying? But who remembers the king now, right? But every day somebody's playing Mozart's music. There's probably somebody playing his music right now. Do you see the difference in the art? You see how it weighs? I say the same thing, Beethoven. How many people remember that? How many people remember who was the president, who was the king during Beethoven's time? Nobody can remember, right? There, every once in a while, there's a nerdy dude that says, I remember who the king was. I was like, okay, good. What do you remember that the king wrote that you could say now, right? Can't remember what the king did, right? Right? But they remember that artist's music today, so much so that they still play it. Now, on a scale, whose weighs the most? See what I'm saying? That's how much your art weighs right now. You look at the news, it looks all heavy, like your song, your stuff don't mean nothing, right? But what you're working on can represent the age. What happened in the news, every government does that. Every government's out of control, man. You know what I mean? That's nothing new, man. It'll be new if somebody actually does what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Actually looks after the people, you know? That's an ancient axiom. One of these great mentors said, man, he was warning Marie Antoinette because he could see that she was getting ready to get her head chopped off. He says, look, you got to make a decision. And he said, I'm telling you, just side with the people. I'm always trying to get the rulers to side with the people just once. Do the right thing for the people, man. Right? But you get in there, everybody gets greedy. The Pharaoh's been doing it, whipping their own people. It's old, man. It's the same thing. But the artist has a chance to represent the age. What you're doing on a scale has the most weight. It doesn't seem like it. You watch the news, oh man, you're getting bummed out. I say, no, stay focused. Stay focused on what you're doing because you're the voice of the age. You know what I mean? Who's going to write the song that expresses what the whole world is feeling right now?
Right.
Right? Now, check this out. If we wait for a good song to come from Congress or the United Nations, just one good song. We just want one good song to come from anybody in Congress, any president, how many presidents we got? We got the president of France, Switzerland. We're just waiting for one good song. United Nations, how long are we going to be waiting? You know what I mean? See, what you're working on, it comes from the people, man. This jewel that speaks to the age is coming from somebody that you don't know who it is. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the ideas that you're working on are precious, man. And a lot of people want to dismiss it like it doesn't mean anything. STEM programs don't even got the art in there. They just left it out. Like it's not a fundamental part of how this whole thing works. So I just like to leave that thought.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And this is a great time for not only artists, but everybody to be artistic right now, and especially the artists to be writing. You're at home, produce as much, art as you can, give it, because like you said, especially now, we don't know the butterfly effect that's going to come from the art that's being created right now, because now is a very, very interesting, amazing time.
That's what everybody says, interesting time, and I like to say this, when there's a book called Move Fast and Break Things by Mark Zuckerberg, right? And I'm going to say, I see it like this: move fast and create things. That's what we got to do. Move fast and create things. And that's like, even the entrepreneur and the businessman, when you do it so much that what you do becomes an art. Michael Jordan playing basketball, man, he's an artist like Baryshnikov or somebody. See what I'm saying? It's not just regular basketball anymore. You know what I mean? You want to raise up whatever you're doing up to the level of an art. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, when you do that, maybe the next Zuckerberg dude is going to create the platform that's fair for the artists. You know what I mean? Like, we're making billions of dollars on advertising. Maybe we can split it with the people making the content that we use. How about that? See what I'm saying? Now we're raising up this thing up to a level of art, past just business for my own self, but this is an art, man. This is an art, man. We're making the new fire. You know what I mean? Money is fire. You know, economy is fire. Electricity is fire. The symbols of money, spin is fire, man. You know what I mean? Economy. You know what I mean? It's energy. It's fire. Economics, man. And it's like, when you share fire, you don't lose anything. See what I mean? I got the Olympic torch. I give you some of the torch. That torch didn't lose nothing, right? The fire just magnifies it. So economy, that's really the secret economy. But it's going to take an artist to, you know, figure out the perfect affiliate models where everybody's generating. You know what I mean? You know, this is raising up your thing up to a level of art, man. You know? And I just think artists got to do this stuff, man. You know, artists have a big part in it. Who remembers Beethoven? Who remembers the King? Okay. So there you go, man.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, Roy. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me and sharing these ideas with me and everyone who's going to hear them. You know,
wonderful,
future
man.
things.
Yeah, so you recorded this. I'd love to see this or get a copy. Or
absolutely, man. I'm going to close the recording now and I'll send it over to you.
Sweet.
All right,
All
thanks.
right.